Y'all, you probably think the Toronto Blue Jays are done making moves after that heartbreaking World Series loss in Game 7. But hold up, Mike Trout to Toronto? This $426 million three-time MVP blockbuster trade prediction is shaking the entire baseball world today. We're talking about replacing Bo Bichette's potential departure and upgrading from Addison Barger with one of the greatest players of our generation. Straight from today's MLB Insider reports that have Blue Jays Nation buzzing. I'm your diehard Jays fan who's been bleeding blue and white since those championship days, and this prediction has me more fired up than a Vladimir Guerrero Jr. walk-off homer. If you're a true fan of the Blue Jays and want to stay ahead of every trade rumor and blockbuster move, smash that like button, drop a comment with your boldest prediction, and subscribe because we're diving deep into trades that could reshape our franchise forever. Blue Jays Nation, let's be real about where we stand right now. We just came inches away from our third championship, losing that soul-crushing Game 7 in extra innings that had Rogers center silent for the first time in months. Our rotation showed flashes of brilliance throughout the playoffs, but our offense hit some cold streaks at the worst possible moments. We're sitting in a position where we know we have championship-level talent, but we need that one final piece to put us over the edge. The AL East is about to get even more competitive with the Yankees retooling, the Red Sox making aggressive moves, and the Orioles building something special. We can't afford to stand still while our division rivals are loading up for another championship run. This is exactly why the Mike Trout prediction makes so much sense for our current situation. Here's where things get interesting. Bo Bichette's future in Toronto is still up in the air, with free agency looming. And let's face it, Addison Barger showed promise but hasn't proven he's ready to be a championship-level contributor in right field. We need proven veteran leadership and elite production, especially after coming so close to that elusive third title. The rumor mill has been absolutely crazy today, with insider Christopher Klein from Fansided dropping this bombshell prediction. According to his analysis, the Blue Jays have both the spending power and competitive appetite to seriously consider acquiring Mike Trout from the Los Angeles Angels. We're talking about a three-time MVP who still has that game-changing ability when healthy. But wait, there's more to this story that'll blow your mind. Trout slashed 232, 359, 439, with 26 home runs and 64 RBIs in 130 games this past season. Now, those batting average numbers might not jump off the page, but that on-base percentage and power combination is exactly what our lineup needs. Imagine this: Vladimir Guerrero Jr. crushing in the heart of the order, George Springer providing veteran leadership, and Mike Trout adding that superstar element that strikes fear into opposing pitchers. The beauty of this potential move is the positional flexibility it creates. Trout slides seamlessly into right field, which allows Addison Barger to move over to third base. If Bo Bichette does leave in free agency, this infield shuffle becomes even more appealing because we're not scrambling to fill multiple holes with question marks. Before we dive deeper into why this trade makes sense, smash that like if you bleed blue and white and want to see the Blue Jays make championship moves. And here's the kicker that nobody's talking about yet. The Angels are in full rebuild mode, and Mike Trout has significant control over where he gets traded thanks to his no-trade clause. The reigning AL champions are exactly the type of destination that a player of Trout's caliber would approve. We offer him immediate championship contention, a passionate fan base, and the chance to finally play meaningful October baseball. But here's where it gets complicated. And this is the part that has me torn as a lifelong Blue Jays fan. Our primary target this offseason has been Kyle Tucker, who's younger, less injury-prone, and plays the exact same position as Trout. If we land Tucker, then pursuing Trout becomes pointless because you can't have two elite right fielders making superstar money. The financial implications are staggering too. Trout's contract runs through 2030 and carries massive annual value, which would significantly impact our ability to retain other core players like Vladimir Guerrero Jr. when his extension talks heat up. Ross Atkins and the front office have to balance championship urgency with long-term financial flexibility. However, if the Tucker pursuit falls through, this Trout option becomes incredibly appealing. We're talking about adding a proven superstar who's been one of the most consistent performers in baseball for over a decade. His injury history is concerning, but when he's healthy, there's nobody in the game who can change the trajectory of a franchise like Mike Trout. Now, here's where it gets really interesting from a tactical standpoint. John Schneider would have incredible lineup flexibility with Trout in the fold. You could bat him second to get on base for Vlad Jr., or slide him into the cleanup spot to drive in runs. His elite plate discipline would mesh perfectly with our patient approach, and his veteran presence would be invaluable during high-pressure playoff moments. The defensive upgrade in right field would be significant too. While Barger showed flashes, Trout's experience and instincts in crucial game situations could be the difference between winning and losing those tight postseason games. Remember how many times we lost leads late in games during our World Series run? Having elite defense at every position becomes crucial when every out matters. The Angels would likely demand a substantial prospect package, probably headlined by some of our top pitching prospects from AAA Buffalo. But here's the thing. When you're as close to a championship as we are right now, you have to be willing to part with future assets for present-day elite talent. What makes this prediction even more intriguing is the timeline. The Angels need to make a decision about their direction, and Trout's no-trade clause means he controls his destiny. If he's willing to waive it for Toronto, that tells you everything about how the rest of the baseball world views our championship window. Blue Jays Nation, here's my honest take on this blockbuster possibility. If Kyle Tucker signs elsewhere and we miss out on our primary target, pursuing Mike Trout becomes a no-brainer move. Yes, the injury concerns are real, and yes, the financial commitment is massive. But we just lost a World Series in Game 7, and championship windows don't stay open forever. This is the type of bold move that championship organizations make when they recognize their moment. The Yankees did it with their superstar acquisitions, the Dodgers did it building their dynasty, and now it might be our turn to make that franchise-altering move. The question isn't whether Mike Trout would make us better, of course he would. The question is whether we're willing to pay the price in prospects and long-term financial flexibility for what could be the final piece of our championship puzzle. What do you think, Blue Jays Nation? Should we go all in for Mike Trout if the Kyle Tucker pursuit falls through? Are you ready to see this organization make the type of blockbuster move that brings us our third championship? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Share this with every Blue Jays fan you know, and subscribe because we'll be covering every twist and turn of this wild offseason. Until next time, keep believing in Blue Jays magic.